Hello and welcome to the All Blacks versus the Lions the day after. If you're watching on YouTube, please don't forget to give the thumbs up. You can do that at any point during the video, and obviously feel free to share this with your friends, and I'm always up for good rugby chat, so comments below or on Twitter, much appreciated. So, hi, I'm Paul, the guy behind DrivingMaul. Sorry, I nearly forgot that bit. Yeah, it's the day after the third test match between the New Zealand All Blacks and the British and Irish Lions. Let's first have a quick chat about the actual series. The series started off in a bad way. Obviously a poor performance against the Barbarians and then a loss to the Blues. And a lot of us are very down about the Lions' chances on this tour. But it has turned out to be a very good tour. The Lions have won 5 of their 10 games, drawn 2 of them, and lost just the 3. So it has turned out to be a great tournament, a great tour, and compared to what a lot of people thought, where there were lots of people commenting that the Lions would only win 1 game, and that would be against New Zealand provincial Barbarians, and that they'd lose against all 5 Super Rugby sides and the New Zealand Maori, as well as the 3 Test match series. So that hasn't happened. It has been a great tour. A lot of people have enjoyed it. A lot of fans have enjoyed it. It has gone down very well, and it's not only British and Irish rugby fans and All Blacks that have enjoyed it. There's been a lot of positive comments from Australia, from South Africa, from people in the States getting up at 3 o'clock in the morning to watch these games. It has caught all rugby fans' imaginations. It has been a great spectacle. It ended up being a drawn series, which was very strange being at Eden Park last night. It was very down, and the way that the game finished and the way the ref blew the finish of the game didn't make it clear to the fans. All the fans were like, okay, has it gone to the TMO? Are we still playing? Is it going to be a line out? What's going on? It didn't. So not only was it a draw, it would also it wasn't a very clean finish to the game either, which didn't help. Obviously, a lot of talk about refereeing decisions, and now we've had time to digest it. We probably should have a chat about particularly the key one. There have been photos showing, screenshots showing Kieran Reid potentially offside at the kickoff, which obviously would have changed it. And then it comes down to interpretation of the law. 11.7 says if you knock it on and one of your players intentionally plays the ball from an offside position, it's a penalty. So, hey, it's a penalty. He intentionally grabbed onto it, didn't he? Another one, but then again, 11.6a says if you knock it on and a player unavoidably gets hit by the ball, it's an accidental offside and it's a scrum. So he couldn't get out of the way. The ball was going to hit him anyway. Would hit him on the shoulder and then he grabbed it, and that's what Rowan Pott was saying. So it comes down to interpretation as whether it should have been a scrum or whether it should have been a penalty. It's one of those things that we generally see players reach down and pick up the ball rather than it bouncing into them, and so it's normally called a penalty, and that's what we're used to as fans. One of the reasons we're not referees is we actually don't read the rule books, most of us, and we don't know all the rules inside out. We just watch games and get a feel for how the rules are. So it's a difficult one. The TMO agreed that it should be a penalty, and then I think it was Garcias, the TMO, got in touch, and the Garcias, the assistant referee, the linesman, got in touch, and between them, him and the referee, they changed their mind. So it's a tight one. I can see why Kiwi fans are upset. For me, I felt at the time that a knock-on like that, where someone can't get out of the way, would be a real cruel way to decide a series in a game. I thought it would be a bit harsh and a bit cruel. And someone pointed out that it's a bit cruel on Charlie about the tackling in the air the game before. So yes, it has been a bit of swings and roundabouts. There have been some harsh calls for the All Blacks in that. One of the things that came out of the tour to South Africa, not the last tour to South Africa, but the tour before South Africa that the Lions won, where you had Jenkins playing out of position at fullback because he could kick very well, is that I thought the lesson was learnt then that you have to have a percentage kicker at international level. And that's where this series has been lost. I mean, it was one of the things that was going into the series was that kicking would make the difference. And a lot of people, and after Barrett's kicking display in the first test, I was like, not a problem. Unfortunately, it did turn out to be a problem, and Barrett's missed kicks in the second and the third test effectively sealed the fate for the All Blacks in the end, So it did come down to that. A lot of narratives about this tour have been flipped on their heads, though, which has been real kind of fun. The story was supposed to be a pragmatic, forward-based 10-man rugby Lions kicking their goals, and yet the Lions have spun the ball wide across all 3 tests and have used width a lot more. The story was supposed to be the All Blacks forward pack having to gain parity and perhaps be on the back foot a bit, but that wasn't the case, especially not in the first test where they dominated that gain line and dominated the forward battles and kept it tight. And it wasn't really until the 3rd test that the All Blacks used the width a lot more and played much more what we expected them to play, style-wise. So it's been a really intriguing series of games from that point of view. And so from a kind of rugby geek, it's been a great one to see both see the coaching side of it and the tactics side of the tour. I've really enjoyed that piece of it as well. Yes, it has been fantastic, and the number of people that have already said they're saving up to go to South Africa in 4 years' time is fantastic. So yeah, start putting your 600 quid or so away that you have to each month to get your tickets. That's what one person has told me they're budgeting to afford the trip. It has caught our imagination. It has been great. It has been great on a number of levels. Today I've been driving down through New Zealand on my way on holiday, and you're coming to you from a motel, and the signs outside every town as you're driving down here, saying "Welcome Lions fans." People used putting balls of hay up to make a Lions player and an All Black player has been fantastic. The public here really has bought into it and has embraced the fans arriving, and the fans in turn have embraced the cultures and the locals here as well, and it has been a fantastic joint experience. For me, I got that when I went with the Laneth Elite Warriors, who were a mixed ability rugby side who toured here in New Zealand and Fiji, New Zealand and Samoa, sorry, not Fiji, and I went down to their final game against College Rifles and saw them play them, and so again, the tourists and the locals getting on very well, and watching the Hurricanes versus Lions game afterwards in the rugby club bar. And there have been multiple stories of that. Someone sleeping on, was it Artie Surveyor's sofa or something? I think it was. So I think the camaraderie, the spirit between the fans has been fantastic. Yeah, there've been occasional bits here and there, like there's one scuffle during the Blues game, and some of the chanting during the final Test match where it was so tense got a little bit, to me, who loves sitting on being as unpartisan as I can be, was perhaps not, perhaps some of it was a little bit in poor taste, but on the whole it has been wonderful between say the travelling fans and the locals, which has also made it as a great tour as well. So those are my kind of thoughts the day after, as we've sort of calmed down and cooled down. That yeah, it's at the time it felt very flat, it felt a very wrong way to finish the tour, but in retrospect, to come out as a draw has been fantastic. The Lions have performed above expectations. The New Zealand public have been great hosts, and it has been a wonderful experience. Northern Hemisphere people, you can all take a breather now and wait for the season to start. For us down here in the south, the Super Rugby has been going on already, and we're heading towards finals time. So take a quick breather for this week and then get excited all over again. Don't get rugby burnout, because there's plenty more to come.